Hello students, I hope you are all fine. Okay, so today we are going to discuss another interesting topic, that is water. Okay, yes. So we know that water is a precious natural resource. Do you know that the substance of water is a cause for the origin of life on earth? Isn't it interesting that 65% of body parts of animals and plants contain water? Okay, so water is essential not only for sustaining life but also for agriculture, industry, energy production, and transportation. So we use water for different purposes in day to day life. We get water in a large amount from different natural resources. Rainwater, wells, backwaters, streams, rivers, and oceans are different water resources. Okay, so we are moving to different properties of water. The water has both physical property as well as chemical property. Okay, and now first of all we are going to discuss about the physical properties of water. And one of the physical property of water is boiling point of water. Okay. Okay. So let us do an experiment for understanding this topic. Okay. So take 3/4 of water in a round bottom flask like this. Okay. Arrange a thermometer in such a way that it is kept immersed in water inside the flask. Okay. Record the initial thermometer reading. Then after that, heat the water uh, in the flask. Then record the temperature from the thermometer at regular intervals of time. Okay. So when does the temperature remain constant? The temperature remains constant at its boiling point. So what is boiling point of water? The temperature at which a liquid boils at normal atmospheric pressure is its boiling point. So the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. Okay. Now, can you explain why the steam causes more severe burns than boiling water at the same temperature? Once water starts boiling, the temperature will not change because all the heat supplied is utilized for the change of state. Hence, all the excess heat that is supplied will be contained in the steam at the same temperature. Okay? Okay, now let's discuss about the influence of pressure on boiling point. It is easy to prepare food in pressure cookers, right? Do you know why? The boiling point of water increases with an increase in pressure. In pressure cookers, water boils at 120 degrees Celsius. Okay, hence high temperature exists inside the cooker, and that's why food cooks faster. Now, what about the decrease in pressure? In high altitude regions, water boils at a temperature below 100 degrees Celsius because the pressure is very low at that regions. Okay, so does water vaporize only at its boiling point? Water exists and the liquid form at temperature between 0 degrees Celsius and 100 degrees Celsius. But water changes to vapor at any temperature up to 100 degrees Celsius. Evaporation is a process by which a liquid changes to vapor. On heating water, the heat that is absorbed is utilized for the rise in temperature and for evaporation. Okay, now I think the first topic is clear. Now we are moving on to the second property of water, that is freezing point of water. Okay, so we are familiar with water getting frozen in freezers, right? We often use refrigerators for making ice cubes, right? So water changes to ice when its temperature reaches 0 degrees Celsius. So freezing point of a liquid is a temperature at which it freezes to solid at a normal atmospheric pressure, and the freezing point of water is 0 degrees Celsius. Okay. Now, which is denser, ice or water? Okay, let's do an experiment. Take 3/4 of water in a glass bottle uh, like this, and note the water level. Okay, and then close it and place it in the freezer. After a few hours, take that bottle out and observe it. When the water freezes to ice, um, let me ask you, does it expand or shrink? When water is converted to ice, its volume increases and the density decreases. And that is a reason why the ice floats on water. Okay? So, when the water is cooled and when it reaches at 4 degrees Celsius, it forms a tetrahedral shape and expands. Okay. Now, let us discuss about an interesting phenomenon of water, that is anomalous expansion of water. When water is cooled, its density increases and the cold water goes down. This occurs till the temperature reaches 4 degrees Celsius. So when atmospheric temperature goes below 4 degrees Celsius due to anomalous expansion of water, its volume increases while its density decreases. And water below 4 degrees Celsius rises to the surface, it freezes and covers the surface of water with ice which is less denser than water. So aquatic life in water bodies at colder region is sustained in water well below this layer of ice. Okay. Now, next we move on to another property, physical property of water, that is heat capacity of water. Okay, so here also we are going to do an experiment. Take equal quantity of water and coconut oil in two separate beakers and heat them in a water bath. Okay, measure the temperatures of water and coconut oil at regular intervals using a thermometer. Okay, then Which of the two temperatures reaches a higher value in a specified time? Even when the same amount of heat is supplied to equal quantities of water and coconut oil, why doesn't the temperature of water increases suddenly? Water has the ability to hold more heat when compared to other substances, and that is known as the heat capacity of water. Okay, now let's discuss some of the applications of this property of water. That is, one is that the water is used in radiators to regulate the heat in automobile engines. Okay. Then second is that the water is used to cool hot objects. Okay. And the third application is that two-thirds of the earth, we know that the two-thirds of the earth is water, and this regulates the temperature of earth. Okay, so now let's move on to um, another property of water, that is surface tension of water. Okay, have you seen certain insects moving on the surface of water? Have you ever thought how this is possible? Then fill a trough with water, okay, and place a blade carefully on its surface like this. You can see that the blade is floating on the surface of water, right? Why the blade is not sinking? What could be the reason? So small insects can move randomly on the surface of water. A blade can float on the water. So all these are due to surface tension of water. So surface tension is a characteristic property of all liquids. Small water drops that can also be seen in spherical forms. Why do water drops assume spherical shape? The surface tension acts in such a way so as to reduce the surface area of the liquid. And for the definite mass of a substance, surface area is minimum for the spherical shape. That is why liquid droplets assume spherical shape. Okay, now let's discuss about the influence of soap on surface tension. Can we reduce the surface tension of water? Add some soap solution carefully through the sides of the to the water in the tray in which the blade floats. Then what happens to the blade? It can be understood that soap decreases the surface tension of water and the blade sinks. Okay. And the main reason for the surface tension is the attraction between the water molecules. Okay, um, it is the attraction of the molecules at the surface of the liquid. Okay, now how this soap is useful in the laundry? In order to remove dirt from the fabric, water should move easily through the fine threads of the pattern. It is only possible by decreasing the attractive forces between water molecules. This can be done by decreasing the surface tension of water. So soap can decrease the surface tension of water. Hence, washing clothes is easier with soap, and soap molecules can get into the particles of dirt in the fabric attract water molecules and reduce the surface tension of water. Thus, dirt particles are easily removed from the fabric along with water molecules. Okay. Now, next we'll move on to next we move on to the another topic, that is water as a universal solvent. Okay, water acts as a universal solvent because water can acquire the properties of the compounds with which it comes in contact. This property of water can be made clear using two experiments. Okay, experiment one is that take table salt, then sugar and vinegar, then stir each solution while using separate spoons. Okay, so take 3 beakers, okay, and table salt, sugar and vinegar, stir it well. Okay, then take the small amounts of each solution and taste it. Okay, what difference do you observe? The first solution will feel a taste of salt. Then the second solution will be sweet. The third solution will be sour and taste. So, what does this mean? When substances dissolve in water, they acquire the property of the substance dissolved. Okay, so that is the first experiment. Now, we are going to do another experiment, experiment 2, that is add colored inks. Okay, blue ink, green ink, red ink. Okay, colored inks to the water taken in different beakers and mix them well. Observe the color changes in water. Here the water becomes blue in color, here green in color and red in color. Okay, so water can this means that water can acquire the color of any colored substance that is added to it. Okay, so since water can dissolve various substances and is widely used for preparing solutions, it is a universal solvent. Okay, now let's move on to another topic, that is water pollution. Pollution is an introduction of harmful materials into the environment. Pollutants can be natural or can also be created by human activity. Pollutants damage the quality of air, water and plant. So, water pollution is a burning issue nowadays, right? So, isn't it a social hazard? Who is responsible for this? Can you list the various activities that can cause water pollution? Yes, one is a dumping of waste and water resources. Then, second, rampant use of fertilizers. Third, it is excessive use of detergents. And fourth, as insecticides getting mixed with water. Okay, now let us discuss about the consequences of this water pollution. The scarcity of drinking water is one of the major issues that is faced by the mankind. Existing water resources are getting polluted day by day. This puts the very existence of life on earth in danger. Isn't it the obligation of every one of us to adopt measures to prevent water pollution? What are the possible solutions? Should not we think of a remedy for the scarcity of water? Will rainwater harvesting help to solve water scarcity? What are the possible remedial measures for this? Can you prepare a note and present it in the classroom? So, now when we conclude, it is clear that water is essential for the life on earth. The boiling point, freezing point, and surface tension are the physical properties. The density of ice is less than that of water. So ice floats on water. This makes the aquatic life possible even under ice. Boiling point is influenced by pressure. Then water is considered as a universal solvent. One of the major problems that is faced by the water body is a water pollution. It is a responsibility of every citizen to control the problem of water pollution and to find a solution for the scarcity of water. I hope that this topic is very clear to you everyone. Okay, so then thank you students.